Hello friends, once again you all are welcome in my YouTube channel. Before begin, I would like to inform you that my previous lecture was on the topic Renaissance, where I discussed origin, meaning, features and writers and works associated with this movement. The link of my previous video is given in the description box. So friends, today's topic is Renaissance drama or Elizabethan drama. The period is also known as Elizabethan period, Tudor age, 16th century and age of Shakespeare. As you know, the period began at the commencement of the reign of Queen Elizabeth I in 1558 and ended at the Queen's death in 1603. Some critics opined that the end of Elizabethan drama or Renaissance drama at the closing of theatre in 1642. 1642 is the date of civil war between royalist and Puritan. Because of this war, theatre was closed for 18 years. This period of 18 years is called Great Interval or Great Interregnum. Critics also opined that Jacobean age as a part of Elizabethan period, as art and literature was continued in the reign of King James I. King James I reign began from 1603 to 1625. Before discussing Renaissance drama, let us discuss how drama was originated. There were four well-marked stages for the growth and evolution of the native drama or British drama. The first stage was liturgical. Liturgical means religious drama or ecclesiastical drama. It has two types, mystery plays and miracle plays. Mystery plays themes taken from the Bible, whereas miracle deals with the lives of the saints. Second stage was moral drama, third stage was interlude, and fourth and final stage was artistic drama or regular drama. Let us discuss these four stages in details. As you know, when society was theocentric during the Middle Ages or before the Renaissance, at that time church had monopoly. At that time, two languages were dominant, Latin and French. Latin was the language of church people and French was the language of officials. But English was vernacular language. It was the language of common people, native people. Church people, they performed various biblical acts inside the church in classical languages like Latin and Hebrew, but not in English. They performed biblical acts. They performed on nativity of Jesus Christ, resurrection and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. This stage was called liturgical stage, and the best known religious drama at that time was Adam, written by unknown authorship. Drama reached to the second stage, that is moral drama or morality play. During the festive season, especially Christmas time, native people or English speaking community, they allowed to enter inside the church to see biblical acts, biblical performances. Soon these acts, these performances became popular. Church couldn't accommodate the crowd and drama shifted outside the church. When drama shifted outside the church, it became secular. Priests, they did not take part. It was performed by the professionals. Now this drama came to be known as a moral drama or morality play. Morality play, It was also liturgical in origin. It was also religious in origin. But it was marked by certain characteristics. Number one, conflict between good angel and bad angel. Number two, vices and virtues were personified. And number three, seven deadly sins. Seven deadly sins are pride, covetousness, envy, wrath, gluttony, sloth, and lechery. The best known morality plays are Every Man and Mankind, written by unknown authorship. The next stage is interlude. Interlude is a short, entertaining, and comic type of play, written and performed for courtly people. The best known and the most gifted writer of interlude is John Haywood. His notable plays are The Play of the Weather, A Play of Love, and his masterpiece, The Four Ps. Then the fourth and the final stage was regular or artistic drama. Regular drama came under the classical influence. Roman playwright Seneca and Plautus and Terence provided models for the first tragedy and first comedy. Plautus and Terence provided the model for the first British comedy, Ralph Roister Doister, in 1550 by the Nicholas Udall. Seneca, the founder of the revenge tragedy or blood tragedy, provided the model for the first English tragedy, Gorboduc. The subtitle is Ferex Porrex. It was written by Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville jointly in 1561. This was the first tragedy written in blank verse. Drama became popular during Elizabethan period. There was amazing phenomena of British drama during the 16th century. Playwrights did not follow the rules of the Greek drama and Roman drama, but we found the influence of the Greek and Romans in native drama. University wits like John Lilly, Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Kidd, and some important playwrights like William Shakespeare, Ben Jonson, John Webster, and Thomas Haywood. These playwrights enriched Elizabethan theatre with their plays. Now friends, let us discuss some important playwrights of the Renaissance drama. The first name is George Chapman. His earliest play, The Blind Beggars of Alexandria, produced in 1596. Now, with this play, he gained reputation as a talented playwright. Chapman wrote 21 plays approximately, but his output was irregular, and for some time, for some year, he did not write any single play. Instead, concentrating his efforts on translating poetry of Homer. During the reign of King James I, in the beginning of the Jacobean period, Chapman wrote very famous revenge tragedy, Busy D. Amboise, which was published in 1604. Next writer is Thomas Dekker. Dekker wrote 8 plays for Lord Admiral's Men. Lord Admiral's Men is a theatrical company during Elizabethan and Jacobean period. Dekker's most notable play, The Shoemaker Holiday, which was produced in 1600. The play is notable for its realistic depiction of everyday life in 17th century London. The next writer is Thomas Haywood. Thomas Haywood was a prolific writer who claimed to have written and collaborated on more than 200 plays. He is most famous for his play dealing with contemporary life. He has gained recognition as a comic playwright. He was best known for his play A Woman Killed with Kindness. Next important playwright is Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson's first play was co-written with Thomas Nash, one of the university wit. But he gained reputation as a playwright with the play Every Man in His Humour. This play set new comic form that came to be known as a comedy of humours. Johnson's became favorite of the King James I and wrote 30 masques. Masque is a form of courtly entertainment play which is full of song, dance and music. For court performances in 1616, King James I made him Poet Laureate, the official poet of the court. Some other important plays of Jonson are Walpole, Epicone or The Silent Woman and his masterpiece The Alchemist. Next playwright, Thomas Kidd. Thomas Kidd, he was noted university wits. University wits is a group of scholars, playwrights, pamphleteers, romancers, studied either in Oxford or in Cambridge. They formed a group what is called University Wit. It is just like the 20th century group Bloomsbury, where Virginia Woolf and E.M. Forster's, these two are the member. Thomas Kidd, he was famous for his masterpiece play The Spanish Tragedy. With this play, Kidd became famous as a founder of revenge tragedy in England. Critics admired him and called our own English Seneca. The next important university wits, John Lilly. John Lilly, he was the member of university wits famous for his style of writing. He was popular as a great stylist. His masterpiece, Euphuse or Anatomy of Wit, and its sequel, Euphuse and England, became popular. Some of his famous comedies are Endymion, The Man in the Moon, and Medias. Lilly also wrote verse play The Woman in the Moon. John Lilly introduced the term euphemism, means indirect expression. Christopher Marlowe is another important Renaissance playwright. He was famous for his masterpiece Renaissance tragedies, Dr. Faustus, Tamburlaine the Great, and Jew of Malta. Marlowe was famous for his blank verse. His handling of blank verse became popular as Marlowe's mighty lines. He was also famous as a poet in theatre. His characters are overreacher, and Marlowe's plays depicted the true spirit of the Renaissance period. Now the next important playwright is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, he was a playwright, poet, and actor. Famous as a bard of Avon, wrote 37 plays, some long narrative poems, and a series of 154 sonnets. Shakespeare was best known for his tragedies Hamlet, King Lear, Othello, and Macbeth. Shakespeare had joined Lord Chamberlain's men. Lord Chamberlain's men and Lord Admiral's men. These were two famous theatrical companies during Elizabethan and Jacobean period. Shakespeare became one of the wealthiest playwright of the age. And Shakespeare in Lord Chamberlain's Men, serving both as an actor and as a playwright. In 1623, this is a very landmark date, 1623, his fellow actors Henry Condell and John Hemingway jointly published his plays as a collection known as a First Folio. The next important playwright is John Webster. John Webster, he was famous as a Jacobean and Elizabethan playwright, best known for his two tragedies, The White Devil and The Duchess of Malfi. Webster borrowed the plot of these two tragedies from Italian stories. His two plays continued to stage in 20th century and in 21st century. So friends, these were some representative playwrights and their works during Elizabethan and Jacobean period. Now it's time to discuss some important themes during the Elizabethan period. Now the first important theme is anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism means hatred of Jews, and this was common during the Elizabethan period. Christopher Marlowe's The Jew of Malta and William Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. These two are the best example. These two are the best example of anti-Semitic plays. Next important theme is disguise. Disguise is a frequently used device by the characters, and the best example is As You Like It. Then the next important theme is humors. Elizabethan believed on medieval medical theory. In that theory, there are four bodily liquids: blood, phlegma, choler, and melancholy. If these four liquids are in proper ratio, then character is normal. If one thing excess, then character becomes abnormal. And this is suitable for the comedy. Ben Jonson's Comedy of Humors used this medieval medical theory. But this is also applicable in tragedies as well. Hamlet described as the melancholy Dane. Dane means native of Denmark. The next important theme is revenge. Revenge is one of the dominant theme in Elizabethan drama. Keats' The Spanish Tragedy and Shakespeare's Hamlet are the best known example of revenge tragedies. Next important theme is the supernatural. Elizabethan believes in supernatural things. People were superstitious. Many people believed in supernatural things like ghosts, witches, enchanted island, supernatural storms, and these things were common in the plays of Elizabethan and Jacobean writers. Let us discuss some important devices. The first device is aside. Aside is a passing thought uttered aloud by an actor in front of other characters on the stage. And this was a very common device at that time. Second important device is blank verse. Actually, there are two types of verse: blank verse and free verse. Blank verse, it was common during Elizabethan and Jacobean period. Blank verse means unrhymed iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter means 10 syllables line with 5 feet. Then another important device is insult. Insult means name calling, and it was an art during the Elizabethan period. Characters engage in verbal dueling. Shakespeare was the master of creating these insults, such as grateful fox, a plague sore. Then another important device is puns, or we can say wordplay. Elizabethans were fond of puns, fond of wordplay. One of the famous example in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, when a character lies dying from sword wound, he says, "Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man." Then another noted device, rhymed couplet. Elizabethan playwrights used rhymed couplet to conclude the scene or act. It is the stanza of two lines. Then, like aside, soliloquy is another famous device. Soliloquy is a speech that reveals characters' thought without uttering words. It tells the audience what is going on in a character's mind. The best known soliloquy is "to be or not to be, that is the question," from Shakespeare's Hamlet. Then another important device is violence. Violence acts occur off stage. These acts are then reported to other characters, and thus the audience gets the action that does not need to be enacted directly. Actually, violence were not allowed to show directly on the stage. So friends, this was my lecture on Renaissance drama. Hope you enjoyed and appreciated this information. Please subscribe and like and comment. Friends, see you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a great day.